What is the nature of nothingness? All right, that is the question for today, and that is the question for number 133 on the list of the 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life. And if you'd like to get a full listing of all 144 of those, just put your name and email address in the comment section. I'll send it out to you for free. It's just an abstract, a few sentences on each one, but it helps you kind of put them in perspective, be able to compare and contrast, refer back, and just see the whole big picture in front of you, and help you as you watch all 144 of these videos in this series. Similarly, if you'd like to get a copy of my book called The Mass Tree, Reclaiming the Kabbalah from the Cabal, and that's an intro to the Tree of Life, that is $10. It's just 65 pages or so. And you can pay me on Cash App or Venmo, and then I'll send it out to you. Also, you can watch my video, which is only 10 minutes, that's called Tree of Life, an Introduction. All these things should get you up to speed enough to be able to watch and comprehend all the videos in this series. Okay, now today, to get to number 133. Now here's the Tree of Life. Now just remember, the Tree of Life, at least for the purposes of this demonstration, is a map of our consciousness. And, anytime you do a map, you are leaving some things out. It's a three-dimensional reality, or more than three-dimensional reality, grafted onto or projected onto a two-dimensional surface. So you're not getting at actual reality, but you're projecting something that's useful, so that you can get a foothold, have some idea, but don't think that that you're going to be able to grasp reality by understanding the tree. The Tree of Life will give you kind of a open some doors for you, so that you can know what you're seeing when you're seeing it, but you still have to live your life. So each one of the circles or spheres on the tree is an aspect of our consciousness. So the tree is a map of our consciousness. The circles or spheres are aspects of our consciousness, or they are potentials of our consciousness, or faculties of our consciousness. And generally when we start life, number 10 is already open. And as we move through life, we have the opportunity to open the other ones. Sometimes we don't get too far. Some people may never even get further than the 10th and maybe the 9th. Most people in modern society will get to the 10th and the 9th, and they'll be exposed to the 8th and the 7th, and maybe have a glimmer of the 6th. Going up further, it becomes more and more rarefied. It's kind of like climbing a mountain. By the time you get halfway up the mountain, it's pretty sparse up there. There's not a whole lot of people up there. But anyway, for today, out of all 12 of the faculties of consciousness, they're numbered 10 through 0 above the tree, along with the abyss here, which is not numbered. But today we are moving into the 0 sphere. So we're at the top of the tree, and we're moving into the 0 sphere as one of our faculties of consciousness. Now, what does the 0 sphere correspond to? Well, the 0 sphere is really above the tree, and that basically means it's not part of the tree, and at the same time, it's not part of the universe. 0 corresponds to nothingness, and nothingness doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in this universe anyway. So it's really, you can mark it by its lack of of existence. When we think of the first sphere, we think of the all. This is everything. And this is its counterpart, nothing. This is the whole universe, and this is not part of the universe. But it's still part of our consciousness and part of our, faculties of consciousness, because the first sphere is the all. It is the higher self, the creator, and how all of us are part of that creator. We all have that like God particle within us. But the creator of the universe has a second life, and that second life is the zero. So, it's kind of like you imagine, a celebrity or something like that. Well, you see them on the screen, you see what they do, you see how they operate, but then they have a private life that you don't see, and what's going on in their private life. This is the creator's private life. This is, when the creator is done with their day job, they go home, and whatever they do, we're not privy to. It's the zero sphere. It's hidden. It's occulted. In the Egyptian, the zero sphere is called Amen, and Amen means hidden or concealed. So it's a strata of reality that is hidden underneath everything else. And as we talked about yesterday, it's really like the zeroth ether. Like, so the first sphere itself is an ether. It's hidden underneath all of the other kind of more noisy things. You've got this hidden reality of what's at our deepest center. But this is even going beyond that to this further deepest center that's not even in the universe. And so that is really what we can get to with the zero sphere. The zero sphere also corresponds to zero emotions, which is also known as inner peace, being able to have peace in spite of all the chaos going on around. And really, the zero sphere is motionless, whereas this universe is a universe of motion. The zero is not in motion. And that's why it's not part of the universe. Okay, now, so the zero is just one of the 12 faculties of consciousness. But to get from 12 to 144, what we're really doing is we're taking the square. The square. 12 times 12 is 144. So what we're basically doing is we're taking the whole tree, all 12 components, and we're shrinking them down to the size of just a sphere. And we're applying it to each sphere. So we break down the 10th sphere into its 12 parts. We break down the 9th sphere into its 12 parts. We break down the 7th, 8th, and 7th sphere into their 12 parts. And so too, we're going to be breaking down the zero sphere into its 12 parts. So within the zero sphere, there's a mini spheres, all 12 of them. And so today, when we're talking about number 133, we're talking about the zeroth fractal, or the zeroth, mini part or mini sphere, fractional part within the zero sphere. So most of the spheres we count down from the 10th sphere, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At the top is the zero. But with the zero sphere, it goes in the opposite direction. So the zero sphere is here, and we count up to the 10th. So for number 133, we're talking about the zeroth fractal of the zero sphere. Another thing about the zero sphere that we'll be talking about right quick here is that the zero is really means the universe itself is a mystery. We don't know, where it came from, what the nature of the zero sphere is, what's outside of the universe. We have we have to reconcile the fact that that ultimately that's a mystery. Okay, so number 133 is called Who Knows, or Sphere. And a sphere is, just one cell of the closest packing of spheres, which we talked about yesterday. How all the closest packing, all the spheres, identical spheres, closest packed one around another, when they're all connected, they create the isotropic vector matrix, which is the underlying reality of the first sphere. So within this zero sphere closest packing of spheres, then that first sphere can emerge, and that's how the universe emerges. So again, we talked about that yesterday. At first there was nothing, and then nothing turned itself inside out and became something. So with this zero sphere, at first there was nothing. 0 equals infinity. 0 equals 1 equals infinity in all directions, or none. Who knows? Stage number 133 is about the impenetrable mystery behind the origin, if any, of the universe. Whoever knows is outside the universe. 0 is outside the universe. God lacks experience and awareness because there is no other. Pure potential, no orientation, topology, the surface of a sphere, it's unoriented. There's no distinguishing one point on the surface of a sphere from another. There's no way to determine where you are on the surface of a sphere without first establishing a reference point. We get outside the universe from going all the way inside it. At some point, we are turned inside out, and the inside becomes outside. Torus, or a hypersphere. 0 is the ability to remain at peace no matter what is happening. Let go into the mystery. Let go into the mystery. In peace, our storehouse of prenatal chi, or energy flow, is replenished every night during non-REM periods of sleep, which are marked by a lack of experience. We do not experience our non-REM periods of sleep, where we match the Creator's experience, which is none. Non-REM sleep. As we awaken, we can learn to go into and experience non-REM without crossing the veil of sleep. The initiate discovers that the unification that occurs at our deepest center, at our innermost point of the first sphere, is not the end. The search must go beyond to the reality that is negative or lack of experience, pushing our quest of self to its most hidden recesses. Amen in the Egyptian, and also Nu, or nut. Here we are getting out of the universe, tuning into what is outside the universe looking in. What Oser, or the first sphere, keeps to itself, reserves to itself. 0 is that part of the Creator that is not in our universe, between or outside universes. Outside the universe, penetrate under the surface of the omnipresent to the non-local, decentralized, and boundless. Out of the universe of motion. motionless. The release of the 16th degree of freedom gets you out of the universe. That's the first restraint, is that 16th degree of freedom. The rules of the universe are also outside it. So the zero sphere refers to the directions or the rules. No questioning the directions for now. The rules are not flexible, but they are discoverable. The final goal of life, living fully beyond emotions, beyond resistance, so that we can stay in tune with and tune in further to the Creator within. A la superconductivity, no resistance. Nothingness knows when not blocked by emotions. Nothing occurs only as the at present untuned in. What is outside our universe is potentially inside our universe if we can just tune it in. Ignore emotions, inner peace, no differentiation, no perception. Nothing occurs only as the at present untuned in. Experience. We see the Creator as the universe of motion, but there is also the immanent aspect of God, the Creator. It only looks like motion from our limited perspective of a universe. There is no zero in the universe except a zero power, which is one. It is just a placeholder. Created or always existed, we have no info. Subjective states subsisting can be brought to the surface. Experience of the essential formlessness of one's being. Okay, that is number 133, the zero fractal of the zero sphere, which is called Who Knows, and also Sphere. All right, thanks for tuning in. That is, something that we'll talk about more, but, ultimately that's even built into the tree, that really this particular fractal is utterly a mystery, and I'm just doing the best I can, but it has to be said that, the zero sphere is a mystery. So all these fractals of the zero sphere are to be taken with a grain of salt, at the very least. Okay, now if you'd like a free guide, my free guide to the 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life, just put your name and email address in the comment section, and I'll get that out to you as soon as I can for free. And you can get my book, The Mass Tree, which is an intro to the Tree of Life, for $10. If you send that to my Venmo or Cash App, I'll send you out the book. It's just like 65 pages, but it's pretty thorough into giving you a good background to be able to understand everything here in these 144 fractal faculties, which is more or less my fairly unique take on the Tree of Life. Also, just stay tuned for future videos in this series. I'll be doing number 133 tomorrow, number 134 tomorrow. And otherwise, have a beautiful day. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you soon.